last week, boys and girls, we looked at looking at the value of each digit within a number. So this week we're going to try and order our numbers. So we're going to start ordering in ascending order, and that's from the smallest number all the way to the largest number. So I have some numbers on the board, and first of all we're going to have a look at the hundreds because this is the largest value within the number. So we've got 200. Is that the smallest value in the hundreds column? I don't think so, because I can see that we've got 191 here. Now there isn't another number that has 100 in the 100 in the hundreds column. So I'm going to start off with this one. So I've got 100 now. So I'm going to have a look now for the next value, the next biggest value. So 800 is probably not going to be the next one. So we've got 300 there, 400, but we had this 200. So I'm going to do 242 next. Then I'm having a look, and we saw that we had this 300 here. So we'll move this one across. 191, 242, 388. Now, boys and girls, this is where it can get a bit tricky because we have two numbers that have the same value in the hundreds column. So when you have that, you have to look at the next column along. So we're going to look at the tens column. So if we're going from smallest to largest, we have to think about which value is the smallest within these two numbers. So we've got 60 or 6 tens here, and we've got 5 tens here. 5 tens is smaller than 6 tens. So we're going to go 452, followed by 463. 452 is smaller than 463. So I only have two numbers left now. I have 804 and 723. 723 is smaller than 804. So that leaves us with 804 as our largest number.
Hi boys and girls, today we're going to have a look at comparing numbers, and you can compare numbers using these three signs. So there is the less than sign, where here you can see that the larger part of the symbol is facing towards the largest number. So for example, we could say 2 is less than 4. So you can see the 2 is here and the 4 is there. It gets larger and pointing towards the larger number. Or you might have equal to, where 2 would be equal to 2. It's the same on either side. It is balanced. So we could say it is equal to. Or you could say it is greater than. For example, 5 is greater than 1. So you can see here that the symbol is still pointing towards the greater number. And that's the key with this. So let's have a little go going through these different examples. So the first two numbers we've got are 191 and 804. Now, when we're thinking of the value of different numbers, it's always useful to look at the greatest first, and in this case, it's the hundreds. So we have 100 here and 800 there. 800 is the bigger value, so we would use the symbol here, like so, and we would say 191 is less than 804. So here you can see the symbol is pointing towards the greater number. Now for the next one, we've got 388 and 42. Now 42 doesn't have any hundreds, so straight away we can see that the 388 is greater than the 42. So this time the symbol would face that way. Again, the wider part of the symbol is pointing towards the largest number. Okay, so for the next one, you'll see we have 75 and 75. These are both equal, they are the same value, so we would use this symbol. 75 is equal to 75. Now for the last one, it gets a little bit trickier because as we look at the hundreds first, you can see that they have the same value. When two numbers have the same value in the hundreds column, such as 400 and 400, you will go to the tens column, which is the one in the middle. Now in this one we have 5 tens, and this one we have 6 tens. 6 is greater than 5, so we would use this symbol here. This is the greater number, and we could read the number sentence as 452 is less than 463. So that's how.
So our maths focus today, boys and girls, is thinking about sequencing and particularly thinking about missing numbers. So let's look at our first number group of numbers along the top here. Pretty straightforward, this one. 10, 20, something's missing, 40, 50. I'm sure you've all guessed it. Nice and easy, counting up in tens, 30 would be our answer. On our second number sequence, we've got a missing number at the end this time. 25, 30, 35, 40. Can you guess? 45, counting up in fives. Our third little challenge, well, we've got two missing numbers in the middle of our sequence this time. 2, 5, a number is missing. 11, second number is missing, and finally 17. Can we work out what the number would be and what the difference is between each of the numbers? Well, to help, I would focus on these two numbers here, 2 and 5. What's the difference between the two? Well, if we start with 5 and we take 2 away, that leaves us with 3. And then if we add 3 to our 5, our missing number would be 8. Add another 3 to 11, and that will give us 14. So in every time in this sequence, we're jumping in threes, where the numbers are ascending in threes. The next sequence, well, we've got two missing numbers at the beginning of our sequence. So we're not sure at all what these two numbers could be. So we need to look at the numbers towards the end of the sequence to help us. The first one's 20, 24, and 28. Our jump is 4 each time. But of course we're having to work backwards. We're descending with our numbers this time. So take 4 away from 20, that would give us 16. And another 4 away from 16 would give us with 12. And let's just check. 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. Our final challenge. Not only have we got hundreds here, but our missing number is at the beginning again. So we need to look at the two numbers here to see what the difference is first. We've got 202 and then 207. What's the difference? That's right, it's 5. But, we're going to have to go backwards through our 100 here, aren't we? Yeah? So our answer here would be 197. There'll be a sheet for you to have a go at with some missing numbers in the sequences. Remember what we've looked at here. Think about where the missing numbers fall and the difference between the numbers that you have in the sequence to look at. Good luck, everyone.